Hi, welcome to NFO TV. In today's broadcast, we are bringing to you a very important topic known as sex education. But before I proceed, what do you understand by the word sex education? Sex education can be defined as the provision of knowledge about body development, sex, sexuality, and relationship, as well as skill development to assist young people in communicating about sex and making educated decisions about their sexual health. With me on set here, I have some erudite scholars, an experienced mother, and a nurse with me on set. So we have the person of Nurse Mary and also Miss Mabel. Nurse Mary is a professional nurse, while Miss Mabel is an experienced mother, a successful one. So with me here, they are going to be sharing everything you need to know about sex education. So starting by Nurse Mary. Nurse Mary, what can you say about sex education?
Thank you, brother, for this opportunity.
God bless you, ma. It's my pleasure.
Sex education, it is a process of teaching young ones about body development. Thank you.
Wow. Just like as I said, it is a process of teaching body development, like the adolescent stage, the anal age, and all those stages of development. So that's all it means. So Miss Mabel, as an experienced mother, what can you say about sex education?
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
To me, it's an avenue of teaching children about their body development, a way they need to take care of themselves.
Wow, thank you very much for this answer. So viewers, we've had their various points on what sex education is. So at what age can you start teaching your children sex education?
According to Dr. Elizabeth Oyenisi, a consultant pediatrics, endocrinologist, parents should begin sexual training as early as possible. She recommended that at age 2 to 3 children, 3 years children, should be introduced to sexual education for several reasons, e.g. 1. Increasing number of sexual predators, pedophiles, who takes advantage of children's innocence. You know, in this country today, there are a lot of things that is going wrong concerning the children.
Okay.
No, we should be very careful, even when we are teaching the children, the area and the environment we find ourselves. Number 2, at age of 2 to 3 years, children start going out to school to play, etc. So they need to be taught what a appropriate and inappropriate body contact by adults. Number 3, preschool are the exits to teach because they are ready to soak up information about anything and everything. Thank you.
Wow. This is so interesting. So, Miss Mabel, as an experienced mother, like I do say, what is your experience and what age do you think it is mandatory, it is important, it is sacrosanct to teach your children about sex education?
Thank you once more.
Thank you, ma'am.
To my own understanding and to my own experience, I believe every parent has to start from the age 2.
Wow.
Why that? You know, when a child gets to the stage of 2 years, that is when you start making the child to understand the reason why she needs to be putting on her clothes all the time, the reason why she needs to learn how to sit properly. You know, some parents, they will allow their children naked outside playing. It's not good, because the world is cruel now. You teach them how to take care of themselves. You teach them how to cover themselves. You know, when they attend that, they don't know anything they're doing. Sometimes they start playing with their body. You start schooling them. No, don't do this. Don't do that. It is from 2 years, you start teaching them what they need to know about sex education to help them more in life.
Wow. Just like, and this adage that say that it is only a small girl that don't know the importance of her private part that puts sand inside of it. So based on what our sister here said, it means that you can start sex education as early as possible. So now, it is important for you to know that sex education is not something you prolong. It is something you start immediately so that as they grow to that age, it will not be something new to them. Thank you very much for talking to Ms. Mabel.
Welcome.
It's really my pleasure. So, Nurse Mary, what are the pedagogy? What are the method of teaching this sex education?
Yes. Thank you for the questions. Use the following method. Number 1, pretest.
Okay.
Ask the children a few questions to determine what they know. This also helps to correct any misconception they may have picked up growing up.
Okay.
Number 2, use the technology audiovisual representation, e.g. PowerPoint, children's software, cell phones, and internet. This contribute to making learning interactive and interesting.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. So these are the modus operandi of teaching sex education. She talks about pretext, the use of internet, the slides, that is the PowerPoint presentation, and so much more. So this make teaching so interesting for these young people to learn and make it fun. Like if you teach them in an atmosphere where it is fun to them, they will understand every step that you are teaching them. Yeah, so Nurse Mary, what other way do you think these children can learn this sex education?
Oh yes, post-test.
Okay.
Ask questions on topics discussed to reinforce memory and help the children return what they have learned.
Okay.
Use real-life example they can relate with, as this makes learning more realistic and easier to understand. Thank you.
Wow, that's so interesting. So, my erudite and successful mother in the house. So, what can you say about the times and the pedagogy and the method, that is the modus operandi of teaching this sex education?
Thank you.
God bless you, ma'am.
To me, in my own way of understanding.
And your personal experience.
Like my own personal experience.
Yeah.
A way of teaching these children sex education, different ways. You can sit your child down, ask her a question, or he or she a question, how she's relating with a student in the school.
Okay.
What kind of play did she involve herself in? How is she and her teacher interacting in the class? You ask questions. I believe no one is touching you in a particular place. You make them to understand some point about life. You know when they touch you here, it's very, very dangerous. Have any of your teacher done this to you? Have anyone called you aside and asked you some questions like this? Through the word you hear from the child, will give you the avenue of her. Maybe she has already known about it, or she's already going in another wrong way. Then you quickly correct the child.
Okay, that means one of the best way to teach these children is to ask questions as related to their daily routine, their daily activities. So with that, you can know the level at which they are operating concerning their sexual life. And
once more, I do say something. When the child leaves home in the morning, coming back from school, sometimes we parents, when a child is up to 8 years, we say she's matured. He is matured. He can bathe himself. Sometimes go inside the bedroom and bathe that child on your own. Assess the body of that child. You will know when the child is telling you, I'm in pain. You find out what kind of pain, what is going on. You'll be able to know if someone has touched her or not.
Wow. That is so interesting. So now, talk of the method of teaching this sex education. Do you think organizing of seminar by various institutions, do you think it does not play a vital role in the method of teaching sex education?
Wow, play a very good role.
Okay.
Important role.
How?
It's important whereby, like my child.
Okay.
There's a particular day she came back from school and she was like asking me a question, Mom, what do you know about PAD? I said, PAD? Who taught you about that? He said they are teaching us in school. They told us about PAD, what it's being used for, and how you can use it. And I found it very, very interesting.
Wow.
So it's very, very good.
Wow, that means organizing of seminar is very good. So, sorry, Miss Mabel, you talk about PAD. When you mention PAD, do you know what comes to my mind? Because I'm a PAD student. I'm a student of public administration. So, and our course code is PAD. Okay. Public admin. So, when you say PAD, what comes to my mind was the course code, PAD 101, PAD 107, PAD 302, PAD. So,
no,
wow,
when I'm talking about pad, I'm talking about sanitary pad.
Oh.
For ladies.
Because you have to make it specific. So public admin students will not think you are joking with their course code. Okay. Thank you very much for talking to us. So the next question that I'm going to be throwing to you, Nurse Mary, How can parent information be handled in the area of sex education?
Thank you. First and foremost, parents should be the first and most important sexual education. Unfortunately, however, in our society, most parents shy away from having this discussion with their children. And this makes the children easy target for sexual predator.
Wow.
Secondly, express permission must be obtained for parents before children are introduced to sexual education, because not all parents would kill into the idea. Number 3, make the conversation lively, informative, and educative. Give gifts to children who actively participating to spur interest in order to learn.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow, that's interesting. So now, Sister Mabel, what do you have to say about what she just said now?
I don't have anything much to say, just like what she said. Before introducing sex education into children, there are so many homes whereby they practice holiness.
Okay.
They don't like, they don't share things like that with children. They believe it's a sin. They believe you're spoiling them. But they never knew that it's a way of you helping that child earlier. Yes. It's a way of you helping the child in a tender age. When that child comes up, he won't be able to go, he won't be able to make a mistake. So it's very, very good to, just like what she said, you inform the parents that a thing like this, we want to do it in the school. Please, is your child permitted to be among them or not? Then if the parents agreed, then they go ahead.
Wow, that's very important. Just like a word that said that once you are not informed, you will be deformed.
Yeah.
So that means information in this aspect is very, very important. It is sacrosanct.
Yeah.
It is vital. So I think the question is going to my erudite scholar, an experienced nurse, and also a professional nurse. So now, Nurse Mary, do you think it is important to teach sex education together with both male child and that of the female child?
Oh yes, these are another most interesting questions. Most children come from homes cooperating, both sexes and indeed mingle with each other freely in the society at large. Some people are of the opinion that both sexes should be taught separately. For example, girls taught about menstruation, and boys about wet dreams. So it is better they are taught separately. That's what some people always say. I believe both sexes should be taught together. In a controlled environment, by so doing, we help them overcome the taboo of saying certain things and using certain words. This gives them the opportunity to express themselves and ask questions freely, so that they can be trained properly and aimed with the right tools as they grow up and help them make informed decisions. As the saying goes, the forbidden fruit is the sweetest. If both sexes are taught separately, the curiosity to explore those things not spoken of well exist, leading to poor decision. But when those issues are addressed, generally, children are better equipped to handle whatever situation they may encounter. Thank you.
Wow. So that means it is important to teach these people together. So, Sister Mabel, what do you have to say about, what our able nurse here have said concerning teaching the both agenda together or not?
Yeah, there is a point whereby you teach them together.
Okay.
And there is a place where you don't need to join them together in teaching them.
Okay.
Whereby you're telling a girl about her body system, about her reproduction, about her menstruation. I don't see the avenue of a guy being there with her.
Okay.
Because she may be shy of asking questions because she has the other sex beside her. You understand? But whereby you bring the ladies, the girls aside, and you are teaching them their own, they will be free to ask questions. They will flow. Understand? In asking questions concerning their own body system.
Okay.
But there is an avenue whereby you bring them together in teaching them what is necessary in the both of them to learn.
Wow. Wow. So, Nurse, do you still have any contribution as pertaining to what she said?
Yes, pertaining to what my sister just said. You know, teaching them differently, it will make the boy will say, what is so special in these things that are teaching those girls that we cannot know? I think we should know what they are teaching them. I think we should understand. So there will be curiosity. They will be eager to know what is the question all about. That is why I believe they should be taught together. You know, because if you are teaching only guys, the sisters will be saying, what is meaning of wet dream? What is the meaning of this? I should understand the meaning. Because at a point where the woman is menstruating, remember, on a good day, a man or a woman, they will be together. And the man will be asking, what are you doing? They will eager to know what they are changing. But when they have thought of it, I don't think they will say, okay, they have thought of it. They say, for us to be giving chance to a lady to change is very, very important. Because they've already thought them together. Give a lady space where they are changing their part. So at that moment, the boys already have the idea that they have to give chance to the lady. But if you not thought them together, the boy must have to know what is he changing, what is she doing there. So that is the reason why it's very important for two or both of them to be taught together. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I have a question for you as pertaining to them doing together. Do you think the guy knowing about it, how the pad must be changed, do you think it's not leading to sex harassment or rape?
No, it will not. Why? Because that brother may have sister at home, while that sister may have brother at home. So when they talk together, when he saw a sister do such, he will remember what they taught them, then we excuse their sisters. But if they did not talk them together, it will be there where they start changing the part, which is wrong.
Okay.
So I still believe, I still agree that they have to be taught together.
Wow.
Thank you.
So do you have any contribution as pertaining to what she said? Okay. So I just want to contribute this as the facts and cultural constraint about sex education. Most African countries, particularly Nigeria, keep sex and sexuality issue hidden from public view. Neither the teenager boy nor the girl has full access to sexuality knowledge they require. According to Ezra in 2006, he says sexuality and girl-boy relationship are generally kept under wraps and considered forbidden. As a result of this action, Nigerian adolescents must seek solution to sex-related issues on their own, frequently dubious sources that are likely to provide incorrect information. So I think parents should not allow this thing to be hidden, because by the time you are hiding this thing from them, it will be escalating to a various things that will result to social issues, social problems. And I think religious leader is one of the major causes of all these things. Teach these people, let them know what this thing is all about. Because if you don't teach them about sex education, they want to get it somewhere. Just like a land, I do tell people this thing, just like a farmer that cultivates a land and don't plant a seed there, something else will grow there. If you don't teach these people this sex education, they will learn it elsewhere, and it will be on the negative part, which is wrong. So I think, to the best of my knowledge, it is good, even in church, we have an avenue where we call these people together and explain this to them, so they will know, even if they are going into a relationship, they will know the reason for going into a relationship. That relationship is not something you just burst in because maybe you want to enjoy some intimate sex pleasure and all of that. Relationship is beyond sex. There's a lot you can achieve as a result of going into relationship. So I think with this, parents should understand the fact that sex education is not something to be hidden. It's something that have to be made publicly. Let it be open for them to know, so that they will know the danger, they will know the importance, they will know how this thing works. I think this is some of the things I need to contribute in this topic. So my able personalities in the house have already said it all. So I don't know if any of you still have something to contribute as pertaining to this topic.
I think I still have a little to trip in this topic.
Okay.
According to WHO,
Okay.
classics, preschool for 5 years to start teaching children all those
Sex education. Wow.
Then adolescent 10 to 19 years.
Okay.
While young adult 50 to 24 years.
Wow.
Then teenager 30 to 19 years.
Okay.
The general classes adult 80 years, child 80 years. I think by all those age we should start teaching all those young ones. They should learn about sex education.
Okay. I have a question. Are you trying to say those are the stages where you start explaining to them about sex education?
That is according to
WHO. Okay.
But generally, I think we should start from 2 to 3 years.
Okay. Now, do you agree with the information? Do you agree with the knowledge of that of the WHO?
I think this WHO. I think it's yes. I agree because preschool 5 years for 5 years. I think it's still earlier. It's still earlier to start teaching.
Okay. But do you think it contributes positively in Nigeria situation?
Yes, that means we have to start teaching the children. We have to serious of it because sometimes we are not really serious of this teaching of this education because we always shine away from it because we think that it's a taboo for us to measure such a thing, okay, which is very, very interesting and very, very important, okay, for the children to know what sex is all about.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Sister Mabel, Miss Mabel, do you have any contribution?
Yeah, I have contribution. My contribution number one is mothers.
Okay.
I'm passing this to all mothers. The way we dress our children sometimes lead them into early pregnancy, dirty lives, whereby a little girl that is growing, developing, you want to send your child out there to get you something, and you allow a little girl, a teenage girl, putting on what they call it, bum shorts, exposing the part of their body. You are equally introducing them into what they are not supposed to be into. Understand? That is an avenue of a guy approaching them
to come in.
And sometimes when they refuse, that is where you see rape. Understand? So many children out there has gone through this malicious act they call rape, and they can't say it out. So many children are dying in silence. So many, they grow with it, and they are now using it against others, against their wife, against their husband, because of what they went through as a little age. Understand? Parents, please, I'm begging every one of us. It's our duty, not just teacher in the school or pastor in the church, but from you. God said we are the earthly parents that will teach these children the way of life. They said, mothers, fathers, teach your child the way of God, so that when that child grows up, he will never depart from that way. Any training you give to that child now is what that child is going to grow with. If you tell your child that it is very, very good and pleasing, you dressing half naked to anywhere you want to go, that is what the child knows. And it will grow that way. And at the end, you see them fall into wrong hands. And sometimes again, I am begging parents that you love your child doesn't mean that you should spoil the child with money. Sometimes we introduce them into early, knowing about money so early.
Wow.
And they end up, if you cannot give them what they want, they go out there to seek from other guys. Understand? So all these things are part of the things that we need to teach them. So many children, they don't have the right in asking their parents questions or telling them what is going on.
Their secret life.
Some mothers, how can you carry a child for 9 good months? I mean, 9 good months, giving birth to that child, and you are feeling inferior. You cannot take care of that child on your own. Whereby you're leaving the house, you ask someone to take care of your child. You give the child out to someone. I'm coming. I want to go to the market and come back. I have heard a lot of stories whereby a woman going to the market and you drop your child for a neighbor in the compound, and the neighbor maybe she wants to pick something outside, and she will ask her husband, dear, please help me to take care of this little child. And before the mother will know, they start fingering the little child. Please, I am begging parents, if you cannot take care of your child, then don't give birth to that child. Please, I am begging. Every lifestyle we give to them now is what they are going to grow with. And whereby when you see them, when they grow up, they grow with this thing in them. You see so many of them, they will say, what is man? I don't care about any man. What do I need marriage for? After all, when I was so age, I was molested. I was raped. Did you tell your parents? No, I couldn't tell them, because they won't give me the hearing, the listening ear.
Wow.
I came across a young boy living with his parents. We met on internet. I was following this little boy up, whereby a little boy telling me what he has been passing through for a very long time, that he cannot approach any lady. He's 24 years. He cannot approach any lady. He is still a virgin. When he said he's a virgin, I was so happy. In fact, I was impressed. I was praying with him. But he got to a point when he started telling me that he couldn't approach any lady, but he masturbates in the house. And I said, did you tell your mom this? He said, I've been saying it, but she said, maybe it's because you are not praying very well. Sometimes it's not just prayer. They said, when you do theory, you do practical. Please, I am begging every parent out there, we should join hands together and give these children a better life. When we give them a better life, they will live good life.
Wow.
The reason why you see some of these children, they end up in the street, they end up married to an old man, they end up hawking on the street, is because they didn't get what they want. You didn't give them the life they need. See, even if you don't have, the little that you have, train that child with that thing. That child will grow up. She will adopt to that lifestyle, and her life will be better. That's the reason why now they said every mother, every parent should try before a child get to the stage of entering university. Make sure that that child has an handwork he or she is doing.
Wow.
Why are they saying it? It is those days you'll be hearing, because my parents are not capable enough, so this is what I'm doing to assist myself. No. That's why they brought all these things out. You teach them. You take them to different handworks. They start, they learn. By the time they go into school, even when you, the parents, you are not yet ready, maybe the one you have is not enough to give to that child. Before you be able to gather yours, the child will tell Mom, due to this, my handwork, I've been able to raise the money for my handout.
Wow.
Understand? So that's the reason why we introduce them to these things, so that they won't go out there. A man will be giving them malt, and you lure them to bed. Giving them 500 naira, luring them to bed. Please, I'm begging parents. Thank you.
Wow. I think our experienced mother have said it all. This is one of the problems that we face, that's happened in every family. Just like what they say charity begins at home. There is no sex education without that of the parents. So we are begging on the parents to do their work first. Even in child development, everything starts from the home. So I think the first place for a child to start sex education should be from their parents. So I think that is all we have for you today. With the little knowledge we have come up with, so we just say we should bring it, we should just bring it to you. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. In case you are listening to us for the first time, subscribe to this channel, NFO News TV. Until we come again next time, same station next week. Remain blessed and God bless you. Thank you very much, Ms. Mabel. God bless you. Thank you, my able nurse. God bless you for talking to us. It's indeed our pleasure to hang out with you. Thank you and God bless you.